Welcome back. Let's talk about service delivery and the lack of it. We see it every day here on our news and, of course, traffic reports as well. Communities angered at the lack of access to basic services, the very basics. We're talking about water, power and housing. Well, they've had enough and they're taking to the streets. The question is, how long can we keep on going like this? It's the topic under discussion at the 21st Annual Conference of the South African Association of Public Administration and Management. Well, let's get more from the organization's Dr. Rasodi Manyaka. Dr. Manyaka joining us this morning from East London. Doctor, good to have you with us on eNCA. So let's start here. How can service delivery be improved? Where do we begin to have this conversation?
Good morning, and Gareth, and to you and your viewers. I can confirm that indeed, as the South African Association of Public Administration and Management, in collaboration, of course, with the National School of Government, as well as Walter Sisulu University, we are meeting here today in East London to start our deliberations as part of our 21st National Conference of the Association. So what we are gathered here today as under the theme towards 30 years of democratic governance and management, and indeed we are going to be reflecting on what has actually happened in the past 30 years in terms of what has been achievements by government, and also what has been the challenges, and also how can we go about turning around this.
And it's the turning around which is the problem as well. I mean, while you're waiting for these engagements with government to happen, which could take a long time, Dr. Manyaka, as we all know, what is going to be the top of the agenda? What's the one part of the issue as far as service delivery is concerned is top of your agenda? Is it water, is it housing, or is it electricity? What's your one focus point for us?
No, well, you'll know that we are going to be bringing together academics and practitioners who will be discussing about quite a number of issues. But of course, you know that the issues of the functionality of our state-owned enterprises, such as your Eskom, for instance, becomes issues for consideration, and also many of the other challenges that you are facing. But there's no one specific issue that we are going to be dealing with. We are going to be looking at a broad range of issues that affect the functionality of our public service, because we believe that the business of capacitating state institutions should be everybody's business.
It certainly should be as well. Critics could suggest, Dr. Manyaka, that this is just another talk shop, isn't it? Yes, you're having all the right conversations. What do you say to critics who are suggesting this is all good and well, but it's just another talk shop where everyone's going to sit around a big table and everyone's going to leave, nothing's going to happen? Tell me what you're hoping to see actively and practically happen on the ground.
Look, SAPAM engagements are really just talk shops. If you look at our conference today, what we have lined up today, for instance, is that we are going to be having policy labs. We are going to be inaugurating policy labs, this policy execution labs this year. And what will be happening is that they will have about 3 today, led by the Department of Public Administration and Management, DPSA, and the Department of Monitoring and Evaluation, and the National School of Government. And we're going to be looking at some of the issues that emerge in their environment. And these policy labs will be led by the Director Generals of these institutions, who are here to generate some sort of a commitment towards addressing the issues that we are going to be talking about here today.
I see it's a 5-day conference as well, international and local academics also involved. Dr. Manyaka, talk to me about the international academics. Who are we expecting to hear from? What are we hoping to learn from these international academics that we can adopt here at home?
Yeah, the SAPAM, this year's conference, participation will come from more than 50 institutions, both locally and also internationally. So we are going to look at perspectives from various people, and obviously, if the perspectives from international delegates from international we're not from our international delegates, we are going to learn how also they do things in their own respective countries. But of course, we cannot just take everything as it is. We have to make sure that some of the whatever proposal that they will be putting on the table are actually tailor-made to suit our own unique conditions.
So as administration and management, what does your organisation, when you spoke about Eskom a little bit earlier, it's one of the big talking points as well. How well is the administration and management at Eskom in your organisation's view? Last question.
Well, Eskom currently, we all know that it has got a lot of governance issues, capacity issues, and this much is reflected in how we are always talking about Eskom, in terms of how Eskom is always in the news for wrong reasons, how we are always facing blackouts that affects our economy and the livelihood of our people. And we really have to make sure that we talk about some of these aspects. In our view, I don't think that, in fact, it's everybody's view in South Africa. We're not convinced that actually Eskom is doing quite well.
Well, I'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much indeed. A particular view from the organisation is the Association of Administration and Management, talking to me about Eskom and various other issues that they're hoping to unpack for as far as social delivery is concerned here in South Africa. That was the organisation's Dr. Rasodi Manyaka joining us this morning.